Daniel, has it sunk in now what you've achieved here?
Yes, of course. So we had a few days to enjoy the moment on last Saturday, but also to reflect a bit and to feel really proud also in the recent days. And of course, we know that we achieved something extraordinary. It was a really special and unique season, and we know that we made history for this club, and of course, it was an unbelievable feeling and we are unbelievable, full of pride that we were able to reach this for this amazing club, and there were some good days, that's for sure.
Was there a point in the season where you really began to believe that this was going to really happen for you?
I think there were many key moments during the season, also perhaps special games when you could speak about, you can feel that something develops during the season, but it's more like the small situations in the dressing room when you got the feeling, perhaps experienced player who expects always, because he's a leader in a group, to play each every game. He has to accept that he's sometimes not in the squad or not in the starting lineup, but still goes and works for them with the spirit and supports what we're trying to do. So it was more like not about the big shining moments in the spotlight. It was more like the small moments in the dressing room, and you got the feeling, with this group of players, we can achieve something really extraordinary. And we had many of these moments. And when you have to praise really some players for their behavior and their work ethic and their attitude, and when you realize this each every day, then you get more and more the feeling, we can really do something outstanding, extraordinary. And thank God we did.
And to achieve with young players like Max Aarons, Ben Godfrey, Jamal Lewis, Tom Cantwell in the team, how satisfying is that?
I think we broke many rules during this season, because without any doubt the championship is one of the toughest, if not the toughest league in the world, with so much load. And we were under unbelievable financial pressure, had to sell some of our best players, had to work smart in our recruitment, but also with many of our young talents. And the perception was always like, you need experience in this league, and you need to spend lots of money for quality in this league. And with beautiful football, you can't win games. And we broke so many rules during the season, and it's outstanding. And 100% the consistency of our young players is also one big topic, because of course young players are delivering sometimes with good performances, but they are pretty often not that consistent. But this group of players were anyhow able to get their feet on the ground and to be not too carried away of all the praise and all the compliments. It's more like to be really fully focused and switched on and concentrated on working hard each and every day on the training pitch, and working hard each and every game day, and to think more about the groups and then about the individual success. And this spirit is outstanding, especially in professional football. And I worked already in many really good dressing rooms, but I mentioned a few days or weeks meanwhile ago when I said this dressing room is unstoppable, and this is really my deep believing, because our atmosphere and our spirit within this group of players and within the dressing room was outstanding. And this was also one of the key topics why we were that successful.
And you talk about breaking the rules this season, all the things you just mentioned. How possible is it to break those rules in the Premier League?
We will see. We'll have to go again and to try it again. So I think our sporting director, Stuart Webber, mentioned a nice picture. He said, listen, we climbed the Mount Everest and we did it, and right now we have to go back and try to climb it again. So and this is exactly our feeling. We know that within the 20 clubs in the Premier League, we are probably the club who is on position 20 in terms of spending money and having money for transfer fees and salaries or whatever. But it's our way, so we go this way, and it's not like we're hissing the white flag and say, it's a step too big. So no one would have expected before the season that we're able to dominate the league like we did and to promote. And 100% the perception will also be like everyone would expect, with this young group of players and with this just low money we can spend during the next season, that everyone would expect, we are perhaps the favorite of relegation, but we will again be greedy to break all the rules and to show resilience and to go our way. And at least it's the plan, and we'll see how it develops.
You mentioned Stuart Webber. Delia Smith described him as a genius earlier. Tell us about your relationship and how it works with him.
If a club heads into the right direction, it's always up to the key people in the club, and all credit goes to our key people in this club. And these are at first Delia and Michael. So they lead the club with so much passion, and also they listen to people, and they want to do the best for the club. Really, they lead this club so. Really from the bottom of their heart, and I can't ask for more support, and I can't ask for better owners. And first of all, it's really totally up to Delia and to Michael and to our board to lead this club. And Stuart Webber is responsible as a sporting director to lead this club into the future. So he has to lead the club more in mid and in long term, and to work on the principles and the working principles, the work ethic. Also the philosophy, how the club wants to play, and all credit goes to our key people, to Delia, Michael, to our board, and to Stuart. They are responsible that this club wants to make a change and was in this transition years and lead this club into this direction, and all credit goes to them.
Can I just ask about last season when James Maddison was here? He's a wonderful player. He's gone on to play for England, doing very, very well in the Premier League. But the team were a little bit sort of one-dimensional with him being such a good player. It seems the team have clearly improved since. Do you think, in a way, losing a player who he's so all the players past him, he's the main focal point of the team, has liberated the rest of the team to become a better team overall?
No, I would have preferred to be allowed to work further on with James Maddison. So my feeling is probably that we would have been already allowed to celebrate in March. So. And to be honest, it's also like also in future. So I wouldn't avoid quality. So quality is always good and always helps in order to be successful. But sometimes you have to realize that the developing of a player is even quicker than the developing of a club, and then you have to accept that. There are some clubs with more money are able to buy these players, and you have to accept this. And James was also crucial because we were under such a big financial pressure in the last 2 years, and to sell him was important in order to keep the club running, and there was no other option than just to lose him. But it's like this. So when a player goes away, it's always a chance for a new player or for a new group of players to shine. And this exactly what several other lads did. So there were several players who stepped up in this role, not in one replacement, because we were not able to replace the quality of James Maddison just with one player. But it's more like we replaced it in a different style. We changed a bit the way we played, also our approach, and in general, it was also a chance. And when quality of a player goes, so the club is never relying just on one person, not on a sporting director, not on the head coach, not on one player. It's always the club is always bigger, and this is also what we showed during this season. And all credit goes to all the players and all the staff who were involved. So my feeling was, even during the last season, we were developing totally into the right direction, and you could feel even that something. We are able to create something, and many topics were pretty good, even in last season. And my feeling was we were able to improve this and make a step further on into the right direction. That we are there with this success, you couldn't predict, to be honest. But we take it.
Daniel, what's your opinion of the comparison that some people have made with the way Norwich got promoted and the way Huddersfield got promoted a couple of seasons ago, with Stuart Webber involved in both, and David Wagner, who obviously also coached at Dortmund, and the recruitment seems similar, but how does it feel to you?
In general, so all credit goes to Stuart, because he was also responsible for the promotion at Huddersfield, at least in many topics. But I think you can't compare these two clubs. I think both have done a fantastic job. So all praise also to David Wagner, who's done a fantastic job at Huddersfield. But I think you can't compare these two clubs, because Huddersfield was more like out of an underdog role, and this club was always already happy when they were allowed to play in the championship. And it's more like then they started in the eyes of many people to overachieve, and it's more like they had then also the possibility to go a bit further on without any pressure. And of course it was a dream come true finish when they reached the Premier League. It was more like, for us, we are still an unbelievable big club with many years in the Premier League, and also big history with playing in Europe and even in Germany. All the people know Norwich City for wins over Bayern Munich and something like this. And it's pretty often then you have to work in a circumstances when everyone understands, okay, we are under unbelievable financial pressure. We have to sell our best players. We have to work with many young lads. But then because of our history, it's more or less like, okay, we accept this and it's difficult, but at least we should win the league. So it's a bit like this attitude, because you compare all our achievements with the achievements in former days. And I think the pressure on this club is even bigger. And it's more difficult anyhow to be successful, because you have the reality on the one hand, but also this big expectation and the comparison with the past on the other hand. It means even like after a few wins or whatever, the pressure increase of and everyone compares then Norwich City with Norwich City 20 years ago when they were allowed to play against Bayern Munich in the Europa Cup. So I think you can't compare these two clubs, but it doesn't take anything away that the achievement of David Wagner of Huddersfield was also outstanding.
And you speak about how important the sporting director role has been. Normally, when a club goes up, the players might be getting looked at from the massive clubs in the world, but you almost feel like Stuart Webber is as important to you as some of your most important players on the pitch.
Yes, and well deserved, to be honest, because my feeling is Stuart, he's still young at age, but still working on a top class level, and I'm pretty sure that one day he will either lead this club to unbelievable success, or he'll work for the best clubs in the world. So there's nothing which can stop his quality, and also his work ethic, and also his being unbelievably diligent and also his smartness. So I think for me, he works already on a top class level, and he will do this in the future. And like I said before, either he will lead this club on long term to unbelievable success, or will work for the best clubs in the world.
Daniel, I want to ask you how much you're enjoying life in Norwich. It's a very different area to Dortmund. I read in a German interview that you realised your life had changed and you got recognised by fans coming out to take that concert. Is that true? And with the Banco back in the city, are you going to avoid the stadium that way?
Yeah, in general, it's a question I get pretty often, how I settled in Norwich. So meanwhile, I was nearly the longest serving head coach on championship level after 2 years. So because the pressure and the fluctuation is that high, so it's hard to remember how it was 2 years ago. But in general, I made it clear from the first day I loved my life here, but it was not only like, I signed a contract and then I was more or less surprised what happened. So we had many communications, and I was here at Norwich and in order to get a feeling for the city, for the club, for the key people, and I was well prepared, and it was my choice that I wanted to come here. There were perhaps some also attractive but even a bit easier options, for example, to sign a contract in Germany on top class level, but it was definitely my decision that I wanted to come here and I wanted to work for this amazing club to be successful. And from the first day I loved my life here. So I knew I worked for a big club in Dortmund, is one of the top 10 clubs in Europe as well, and of course slightly different in many topics, but I was totally convinced that we can have unbelievably successful spell here in Norwich as well, and thank God we have.
And what do you make of the Farke life and the songs that are being sung, and the news a couple of days ago about a Japanese couple have named given their baby the middle name Farke?
And I'm not sure if it's the nicest name or it would be my choice, but in general, of course it's nice when you're praised, and our fans and our supporters. We have a special relationship to our supporters, and we know this, and we are unbelievably grateful and thankful for this and for the support and for this unity. But I'm not over-interpreting that. It's quite normal when you're successful and you win games, and everyone is singing your name, and you have many fans, and it's also the same when you lose a few games, and you have to make sure that you don't get all tomatoes or whatever that are thrown after you. So I'm not too carried away. That I'm not too excited, not in the praise, but also not when there are some difficult times. So I think it's important to stay calm in both directions, and I'm, like I said, unbelievably thankful and feel really blessed and honored that I'm allowed to work for this amazing club and to can also play a small part in our success. And but of course, it's more enjoyable that the supporters sing your name then instead of they want to sing you out of the stadium. So it's quite normal. And we take this, enjoy this, but we're not too carried away.
How desperate are you, Daniel, to finish things off with a win on Sunday? Obviously, you've done the job for the season. Promotion is there, but finishing top of the pile.
Yes, we are always greedy to be successful and always greedy to win football games. So I made clear before. So I want us to also to protect a bit our naive attitude that we're more addicted to win football games and not thinking about, okay, we need to bring 1 or 2 points over the line. So a bit more like this feeling why we once started playing football in order, come on, let's go out with our mates on the pitch and let's win a football game, and not too addicted thinking about table and reaching and contracts and bonuses or whatever. We know that we already have reached something extraordinary, and the most important thing was to achieve promotion, and that's the biggest thing. But of course we are also greedy that we finish in style, and it would be of course even a bigger achievement and world class if we're able to win the league. That's the next topic. Perhaps not that important like promotion was, but of course we are greedy, and it's not like for us the season is finished. We will go to Villa and try to be at our best and to win the football game in order to finish in style, and also to win the league. This our next claim.
Daniel, on that front, lads came back yesterday. How do you sense their mood? Because talk of Everest, but to get up so emotionally high, to come back down again, to go again Sunday, what's the sense you get from that set of players?
In general, they are back in a really good mood, and I think it was also important. And you have, after this achievement, they all know that they are meanwhile legends in the history of Norwich City because of what they have achieved. You had to let them celebrate for a few days. I know it's perhaps not the perfect way and prepare for Aston Villa, because the perfect way would have been to be on Sunday morning in to analyze the game, to recover for the lads who were not involved, to be there with a proper training session. But it was important to give them 2 or 3 days off to feel this joy and to celebrate, because if you don't celebrate something like this, then you will ask yourself one day why I'm doing all this disciplined work. And it was important, and I know it was perhaps not perfect in terms of preparation for Villa, but in general my feeling is also like, since yesterday we are returning back to proper professional work, and my feeling is this 4 days should be enough to deal with the hangover and deal with the celebrations, and hopefully it's enough to recover also for the Villa game. I'm pretty sure they will be highly motivated also to win this game, and we try our best to be at our best, and like I said before, so today, tomorrow, also next days we will work pretty professional, because we want to finish in style. But my feeling was also it was important to allow them to celebrate a bit, because football is also for the fans, it's also for fun, and this is what we felt in the last days. But from now on we will be also desperate and really fully and highly motivated to go further on and to win the league.
You're talking about your players. How's it been for you since Saturday night? Have you had a chance to switch off and take it all in?
To be honest, we were also celebrating a bit on Saturday evening, and it was nice, and I was not in an unbelievable perfect condition on Sunday morning, because a few more hours sleep would have perhaps helped, but it is like it is. And to be honest, I'm too old to celebrate like the wildest party in the world. So the players were allowed to do this. I had a few drinks as well, if I'm honest, but not too carried away. On Sunday evening we had also again our end of season dinner, and even the players were there and also in a good condition. Perhaps Timo Pukki's interview was not on a top class level during this evening, but all the other players were there. I think not too bad, and I was fit again. And then Monday was a proper working day for me. Tuesday was also a working day. We had also end of season dinner at the academy. So since Monday I'm back at work. The players were allowed to celebrate 1 or 2 days longer, and that's all okay. But I will celebrate then after Sunday, and that's then totally allowed. I'm also looking forward to do this.
What's the reaction been like back at home in Germany? And is that something you're going to have to get used to now? Because you can sense there's far more interest, and that's probably part and parcel of being part of the Premier League.
Yeah, first of all, we had to cancel many demandings for interviews and TV channels who want to come around. It's also like in Germany, it's a big topic, and especially after such an achievement, it puts the spotlight a bit on us. But to be honest, so I'm not so addicted what the press or the TV channels are doing out of our work here in England. So in what they do in Germany. So because the most important thing is that we made our club and our fans proud, and we spoke about when we signed Stuart and me. Yeah, that we spoke about. We want to give this club and this amazing people and this amazing fans a bit the pride back, and for that the biggest enjoyable moment was that really we achieved promotion and we give a bit this club and also our fans this pride back, and we were able to feel this joy with the people, with the community, with the whole city, and I'm more addicted to feel this and about any positive articles or TV reports about us in Germany. We know that we are in the spotlight, but like I said before, we are not too carried away.
If possible, can I just ask you a few more specifically about Villa on
Yes.
Sunday? You talked about the mindset. You do only need a point, irrespective of what Sheffield do at Stoke. But that's not really how you set your teams out to play, is it? You won't be setting them out saying we just need a point here today.
Exactly, we can't go out and say, okay, let's try to park the bus and anyhow to get 1 point and to get a clean sheet, and we put the ball over the stand and try to cheat a bit and try to pretend that we are injured and we are not, and take some time away. That's not our style and not our way. And in this way, we are not world class and we can't win football games. So we are always good when we are brave, when we attack the game, when we dominate the game, and this is exactly how we will try to play at Villa Park. We know that we play a side who is on fire as well, unbeaten since several weeks and months, and they will 100% be desperate to finish in style in the last home game, also to create a bit of momentum for the playoffs again, and they want to finish on a high. It's probably the biggest task you can have in such a last game, but it's like it is. We take this task, and we were always trying to achieve something extraordinary, and it's now another game where we have to be on a top class level in order to win some points. But this will be our claim, that we also want to win some points, and not only we drive there anyhow to pray for 1 point. We want to win all 3 points, and this is what we're trying to do.
You don't think there'll be a sense from Villa? I can see your point that they probably want to continue that momentum, but on the flip side, would he maybe look to rest 1 or 2 of his key players, you think?
No, I don't think so, because there's enough time to recover. I think if there's a slight injury or illness problem, I don't think they will risk anything. So that's for sure. But even in this case, then I'm pretty sure that the players will come and they will be desperate to show, okay, they are ready and they want to play in the playoffs. And for that, I'm pretty sure that Villa will be there at their best. But if we are at our best, we have a big chance also to win some points there as well, and that's what we're trying to do. So I expect that Villa will be highly motivated to finish really on a high, and whoever is on the pitch, they will be there with a good team, because they have many options and many players full of class, and we have to be, like I said, at our best in order to be competitive.
In terms of your squad, obviously apart from the hangovers, there's no issues at all. And also Tom Tribal, you said possibly might be seeing the specialist start of the week. Is there any update on that?
Yes, thank God he doesn't need a surgery, but he needs to wear this big boot in order to calm his leg completely down. It looks like he can join us in the start for the preseason, so it's a long time till we start again anywhere in the end of June or beginning of July, but it seems like he can hopefully join us, and it's some good news. So at least he doesn't need further surgery, and some good news with him. And he's not available, but all the other lads are. So it's a good sign, and even also a sign that the last 3 or 4 days of celebration were not too bad. So no one fall down the table or the stairs or something like this. So all are available, and to be honest, there was a good performance also yesterday and today on the training pitch, and it seems like they are prepared.
2 more from me. Word on Sheffield United, obviously Leeds not beating Villa, confirmed their promotion. You and Chris Wilder and both sets of players have had some interesting battles, but just a word on their achievement.
Yes, he was pretty respectful. Sent me a message after promotion, and of course we had communication. I sent a message back, because he has done a fantastic and outstanding job, and also with his consistency. And when you're there after 46 games, or like we were already after 45 games, and are allowed to celebrate promotion, and without any doubt, it's totally deserved. And I think all credit goes to him. So for me, like I said, quality is defined with performance over a long-term period, and this is exactly what Chris has done at Sheffield. And I think he's done a fantastic job, and all applause and all praise is well deserved. And yeah, all my congratulations, and also the praise goes to him and all his staff and all his players. My feeling is they have done a fantastic job.
That's final one from me. Since Saturday, how much of your time is now getting taken up with Premier League planning? As you said, you've had to work to 2 plans as you did last season. Now you know what league you're in. Is that now dominating more and more of your time? And in terms of the summer, will you not really be able to have any time off at all, or very little?
It will dominate my time. So not in the last days, to be honest, because I think it's important to feel a bit joy and to celebrate a bit. And also right now I'm more concentrated on lead this group of players in order to prepare them for the last game, and also to work a bit on their individual plans during the break, that they come back in a good shape. But right now, from day to day, more and more the thoughts will be about the Premier League. But to be honest, my feeling is we are prepared, because the last transfer windows were a bit more complicated, and we had more complicated work to do. Right now we've got a group of players, and most of our key players are under contract, and it's not that we need to sign 15 new players, or we have to do an unbelievable amount of business. So I think you're in a really good shape. It's more like to plan a bit the break, to plan pre-season, also of course to make the final decisions of which players we can bring in, and which is possible, and to plan a bit. And it will take right now from day to day more and more of my time. But in general, my feeling is we're in a good place, and I totally trust also our recruitment. I totally trust Stuart Webber. I'm convinced that we will have a competitive group of players also for the next season.
Daniel, just one from me, and apologies, it is looking ahead to next year, but how determined are you to keep this faith in young players? Like, the Premier League comes with so much of what it is and how tough it is, but you've built so much of that on this season. How determined are you to continue that faith next year?
We will totally stick to our plans, and totally stick to our philosophy, and totally stick to our principles. And I made it clear when I signed here for Norwich. So my biggest aim was at any point that we are able to be really a permanent member under the best 25 teams in the country. That means that we are a permanent member in the Premier League, or if not, because when you're a smaller club, you can have sometimes a bit unluck with injuries, illnesses, also some perhaps unlucky signings or something like this, something that doesn't pay off. And of course you can relegate sometimes, but that you're in such a position that you immediately attack back the Premier League. I think the most important thing is that it's not like we lose right now our nerves and think, okay, with some unbelievable spending, unbelievable amount of money, and just sign some experienced players anyhow with the euphorism of the promotion. We can perhaps stay for just 1 year in the Premier League, but then the euphorism is away, and we lost our principles. Then the next season is an unbelievable poor season, and you relegate, and then the club is under the same pressure than they were before, and then financial pressure. You have to sell your best players. So I think it's important that we keep our cool and keep our nerves, and that we stick to our principles, because we can't stay in the Premier League just with individual quality and signing unbelievable experienced players. We have to stay in the Premier League with our identity, with our philosophy, with our work ethic, with our principles, and we will 100% stick to our plans. We know it will be difficult, and I'm pretty sure during this season we were always able to answer after each of we lost with a win. I think in the Premier League it will be difficult, and there will be also difficult games, and could also be a time when you are there 2, 3 or 4, 5 games without a win. But then to ignore a bit the noise and ignore the criticism that will come, and stick to our plans and stick to our believings, I think this will be the key, and it's the only way to stay up and to stay there also mid and long term. And this is what we want to develop, that Norwich City stays on mid and long term in the Premier League, and this is our way, and we won't go 1 centimetre away from this way.
Just one for me, Daniel. How important is it going to be to retain that togetherness that you've built so much this year going into next season when, as you say, there could be a spell where perhaps you don't win 4 or 5 games? How important is it that togetherness sort of lifts you through that period?
Yes, even more important, to be honest, and because it's more or less a bit easier when you are successful, and a bit easier when you win game after game, to be there with a good mood and a good spirit and good togetherness. It's even more difficult to show this also during a perhaps difficult period, and when you're not that successful. I'm pretty sure that we won't finish the Premier League next season with more than 90 points like we did in this season. So who knows? I would take it, but I'm pretty sure we won't. So it will be even more difficult to do this, but it's even more important to go further on and to protect this group and to protect what we have achieved, and to go further on with this spirit is quite crucial.